Actually, yes, I am. 1 second, though. Probably gotta boost up the mic. 1 second. There we go. Cool, ka-choo. Welcome to TechLink Daily live show, where you take every Friday to take some time to sit back, relax, talk to you guys, and, well, generally have some fun. This will be going on for the next 20-ish minutes or so, then I've got to run off and do some other stuff, so I might be a little quick to go over some of these articles, but I will take your questions, I will take any of your tweets, your comments. I'll definitely look those over. So leave your questions in the comment section if you guys want to ask me any questions, or you can tweet them either at LogicLounge or at Creighton on Twitter. And just got a couple of stories to go over today. Before we get started, though, as obligatory with all online videos somewhere that does some sort of daily presence, we are sponsored by somebody this week, which is Copy.com, and this horribly printed out logo. My printer kind of crapped out there. That is Copy.com. They are a very huge competitor to Dropbox right now. lgic.co/copy. That will get you 20 gigabytes of free cloud storage. 20 gigabytes, free cloud storage. Dropbox cannot give you that. So I'd like to thank Copy.com for having their amazing service, and be sure to use that code right there to get 20 gigabytes of free space instead of 15, which they normally give you. Yes, you get a 5 gigabytes of free extra space just by using that link right there. So go ahead, use that link. Thank you to Copy.com for having its wonderful, wonderful service. So let's get into today's top stories, as we always do every day here on TechLink Daily. First story up is from Business Wire about Hulu, 21st Century Fox, NBC Universal, and the Walt Disney Company to maintain ownership positions in Hulu. So Hulu was trying to sell itself. There was bids from everybody from Dish to the major studios out there trying to buy up Hulu. Apparently they couldn't come to an agreement of a price of whoever owned them wants to sell. So they've gone back into ownership between these three companies. Will they sell again soon? Maybe. For the right price? Probably. I think Yahoo put up to $1 billion to buy them out, but they turned it down. So we'll see what happens there. Definitely it's a great service. I used to use it a lot because they have all of, like, the top shows from NBC, CBS, ABC, I think. So you can watch basically TV the day after if you're subscribed to Hulu Plus, which is a great deal. Or if you're just a Hulu member, you can go watch videos there as well. It's a great service. I like it, but they, I don't know, they sort of need to sell, is what I'm trying to say. So Hulu, great service. I don't know, do you guys use Hulu at all? Let me know. What are your favorite shows on Hulu? That's always the biggest question, is you have these streaming services out there, but is there anything good there to watch? Well, let us know. Next article is from The Verge. Microsoft details new Windows Phone 8 update, but real fixes won't come until 2014. So basically, we have to wait over 6 months, 7, 8, 9, 10, almost a year probably, until Microsoft will make a huge change to the Windows 8 platform, which kind of sucks because they take really long times to do anything remotely good. Now, when I have to use Windows, I only use Windows 7. I hate Windows 8 at this point just because I don't like the user interface. I don't like the modern theme UI. I don't like how it can't distinguish itself from a tablet OS to a desktop OS with the Metro interface. That's why I kind of really refuse to use it. I mean, it might be a great operating system, but it's confused. Is basically what I'm trying to say. Is that it's a confused operating system because they don't know what they want to be. Do they want to be a desktop browser, or do they want to be a tablet interface? We don't know. So be sure to leave your questions. I'll try to take them as much as I can. Hopefully we're streaming. I think we should be streaming fine. All right. So Coming up for the Windows 8 phone, they say that they're having big updates in the music library with their Xbox Music service. I mean, we've kind of already talked about that. How if you do have the Windows 8.1 platform, you can use it. If you're subscribed to Xbox Live, you can use it as well. And it's kind of like a Spotify or a Pandora competitor at this point. And whether or not they'll penetrate the market, we don't know just yet, because, again, it's just coming out. But they have potential there. They definitely have potential. So the biggest updates, if you're a Windows Phone user, is going to be in about maybe a year to 6 or 7 months, is what I'm saying at this point, and what Microsoft is confirming to us as well. Apple hasn't been in the news lately. Well, I guess they have, but it really hasn't been huge news. I mean, there's a lawsuit going on with them between the ebooks, which was just announced that Apple was guilty of price fixing, and so that they're going to appeal it right now and try to get it turned over. But we also have here another article which kind of goes more into the hardware aspect of Apple, which is from Mac Rumors. More claims of no Retina iPad mini until early 2014. I had an iPad mini when it came out. I got it at launch. It was a nice black one. I have a full review on it and an unboxing, and I had 1 or 2 other videos with it. But the thing that I really didn't like about it, and what bugged me, was that it wasn't Retina. I had a Retina iPhone, I had a Retina iPad at the time, I had high quality screens, so when I looked at the only low resolution device that I had, which was the iPad mini, I was a bit turned off it, because you'd think, great, it's going to have this high quality screen. It didn't. So that's what bugged me the most about the iPad mini. That's why I ended up returning it, saying, hey, I'll wait another year and I'll get the one with the Retina display. But it seems like not this next version that should be coming out in the next couple of months, but the version after that will finally have Retina support, which is kind of, well, Apple's kind of fallen behind in the markets because they can, maybe because maybe they're having issues, probably. So I am definitely looking forward to a Retina display iPad mini. It definitely is something that I know a lot of people would like over the current iPad mini right now. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the current iPad mini. I mean, it's a great, small, little device. I mean, that's why I love my Nexus 7, because it's small. If you can see, I can hold it in the palm of my hand. Now, that's kind of hard to do it with something like an iPad. I can't really hold it in the palm of my hand. Well, sort of, but it's awkward. But this is great for one-handed use. I mean, it's small, it's light, and then if you want something bigger, of course, you have the iPad display. So it depends on what type of a person you are. If you like those small displays, the bigger displays, like it palmable or not. I'm definitely one of those people who do like it as a little palmable device. So I'm going to be looking out for that Retina iPad mini. They're saying is in the next year. So early 2014 is when we probably should see a Retina version of the iPad mini. Now, more Apple news, because I want to kind of bunch the Apple news together, because people get kind of mad at me every time I talk about more than one Apple-related article, and I take time in between to talk about something else. So the next Apple article is, again, from Mac Rumors, saying Apple reportedly buys into a chip fab, looking to produce its own chips. So right now, for the mobile devices, for their desktop devices, they use a combination of Intel for their desktop devices, and I think it's Samsung is their mobile device chip manufacturer. And it looks like they just bought into a company called United Microelectronics Corporation, I think is what they've gone into. I mean, I'm kind of just skimming this article, but basically they're looking to make their own silicone, make their own chips, so they won't have to rely on these third-party vendors, basically, to get the job done. They can do it themselves, control the processes, and they don't have to have something like what happened a couple months ago with Samsung, which was that they demanded more money and they weren't going to ship more chips to Apple until they get that. So getting their own manufacturing processes will help them out in the long run, I believe. So that it's a developing story, I guess. I mean, it hasn't happened just yet. So I'll refresh the comments here, see if we get anything. Someone's here from India. Cool. Welcome from India. I'm glad I have a global reach. I mean, the United States is great, but knowing that you have a global reach into the market is kind of cool. So, moving on, we talked a little bit a while ago about the new Motorola phone. Now, if you do not remember, Google bought Motorola's mobile division. Motorola's mobile division dealt with building their own phones. Well, it seems, from this article from Engadget, unannounced Motorola Moto X likely spotted in the hands of Google's Eric Schmidt. So, Eric Schmidt is one of the head guys over at Google, and it seems like some pictures have been taken of him using a new phone. Here is what the new phone sort of looks like. So, zoom. It's kind of an interesting model. I mean, it doesn't have anything too discernible about it, talking about like any markings, but you do see the well, you probably can't see it because the image is too bright, but it does have the Motorola symbol on it, and you can see it in his hands, and you can see it has that kind of a tapered shape. If I probably bring down there you go. You can kind of see it as more of a tapered shape. So it's interesting. This could be the new Moto X that they're talking about. I mean, it's probably a prototype right now, so he's probably, using it, testing it out. Would be interesting to see what that Moto X is going to look like, because they are spending a lot, and I mean a lot of money to try to launch this new phone, since Google now owns the Motorola Mobility. So we'll have to see how that factors in to everything and see what happens there. Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, I'm still an Apple guy. I love the iPhone. I love the Mac. I love, anything Apple. But I am willing to change. You know what has been really growing on me? The Nexus 4. I love the Nexus 4. So don't call me an Apple fanboy, because I do love the Nexus 4. I do love the Nexus 7. I am a huge fan of Android too. I mean, I'm a multi-platform guy. I don't just live in one platform or the other and refuse all other platforms. Now, I'm open-minded. I don't mind other platforms. So, let's move on to the next web. Has an article here, which states eBay Exact launches on iOS. Lets you buy 3D printed products from MakerBot, Sculptio, I think that's how you say it, and Hot Pop Factory. So 3D printing is becoming all the rage now. I believe a university in New York is offering a class on it. Libraries in New York, I think, also have 3D printing places that you can go use, 3D printed stuff. So they're bringing people back into the libraries. We had an interview with the CEO of MakerBot, Bree Pettis. Great guy. That was at CES 2013. You guys probably search our YouTube channel for it after you watch this video, of course, because it was a really fun time, and he got really excited about it. We got to see their new MakerBot, stuff like that. So they have this new iOS application, and if you want to go download it, it's lgic.co/exact, EXACT, and that will bring you to the iTunes page where you can download the free iTunes app. So it's EXAT if you want to find it there, and use our link because it'll bring you directly to it. So basically what this allows you to do is buy 3D printed stuff from people, which is cool because 3D printing is, the future. I believe they're saying $9 for plastic iPhone cases to $350 for metal rings. But the issue right now is that the shipping times are between 7 and 14 business days, because 3D printing does take a while. It's not an instant thing because it usually has to be printed up as it's ordered. So that's the only stipulation, but it does seem like a cool thing to do and have, and definitely seems like a cool idea. I'm definitely into 3D printing and would love to see it become more modern and mainstream and stuff like that. So we'll see on that front. Let's move on to a Torrent Freak article, which is another Google-related article. Google refuses to delete pirate websites from its search results. So Google has been largely good to the copyright owners for takedown notices. They publish the takedown notices. They're usually quick to react to them, and they have been complying with a lot of the requests, usually from the RIAA, about taking down pirated content. Well, it seems like the RIAA doesn't think that Google is doing enough. They're saying they're demanding to remove the websites that have been seen with pirated content altogether. So even if it's a specific portion of a website, they want that whole website to be taken down from Google results no matter what. Now, Google has said no, which I agree on, because you shouldn't have that much power. Basically, what Eric Schmidt is saying is that they are working with their fullest extent to reduce pirated content, meaning that they're already penalizing pirated content. They're penalizing keywords that refer to pirated content, stuff like that. So they're working on that front, and they are doing a lot, yes, to fulfill a lot of those copyright takedown requests, but the RIAA doesn't think they're doing enough. And I think Google's doing more than enough for what they're doing. And one of the things that I don't think the RIAA will ever get is that you cannot get rid of pirated content altogether, no matter what you do. And what the RIAA would love to do is they would love to police the web. They would love to be the ones to say only these sites can be online instead of take these sites down. So they're one of those guilty beforehand, and then they'll find out if you're really guilty or not. Which, speaking of guilty, brings us into our next story. There is this woman. It's another Torrent Freak article, by the way, who is a convicted music pirate. And the RIAA has won this this lawsuit against her. She's a 36-year-old woman. She's like the mother of 2 kids. She shared 24 songs online and owes the RIAA over $200,000 for 24 songs. That is outrageous for a request in law. I mean, that shouldn't have gone through. 24 songs. $200,000. Let's see here. If I can bring up a calculator. Let's figure out $222,000. Let's see, $222,000. Oops, did that wrong. Yep, divided by 24. So she's paying about $9,000 per song that she shared online, which is way more than what a normal song costs. I mean, if they would have said something more reasonable, like because you've been so bad, $10 per song or something like that, $100 per song, great. But they argued this much per song. I mean, they didn't lose that much money from this one person that they should have gotten that much money. And basically what they're doing right now is they're saying, hey, we'll take care of that cost for you that we want you to pay us if you speak out publicly being against piracy. And she said no, because in my mind, the RIAA isn't exactly doing what it should do. They're trying to be a controlling governmental figure instead of being someone trying to go after copyright people legitimately. Instead, they're going after these small people who they know they can win court rulings from. They're going after the people who they know can't pay the money, and yet they still ask these outrageous prices. Super stupid. The RIAA just needs to go away. That's all I gotta say. They gotta go away. Wow, we're already at our last story? Jeez. I need to start slowing down. Last story, not sort of technology related, sort of not. Heathrow Airport, huge airport in the UK, had a airplane fire today. And it was one of those infamous Boeing 787s. Interesting enough, though, it did not happen in the battery bay. No, it seems like what the pictures are showing are the top of the fuselage by the tail fin. I don't know why that would be. I mean, it would probably be maybe a small electrical fire or what have you. It's an Ethiopian Airlines plane, if I bring it up here. So there's the Ethiopian plane. And it's right there that they had the electrical fire. Or what looks to be an electrical fire. Again, they have to come out with the official rulings. But it does look like it might be an electrical fire or what have you. Because it's definitely... There's not a lot of stuff where that is. I mean, there might be wires, but that's about it. There's no, major control columns, because the control column stuff usually comes from the center of the plane. And I also believe that the 787 is a fly-by-wire aircraft, so they don't use wires anymore, but it's electrical signals. So definitely interesting to see what happens there. It's in the UK, so I'll definitely follow the story because, of course, I live in Washington, so that means that Boeing is a huge influence around here, and anytime they come in the news, it's definitely something that we all worry about because they're a huge market here in the Northwest. So I'll take some questions before we head out here. So if you guys have any questions, be sure to ask me anything at all. No? Maybe so. I don't know. It's a Friday. People really don't probably want to watch me. No? Yes, no? I guess not. So, because I have no questions, and because it's Friday, and because I have stuff to do, I'm going to end this Tech Link Daily a little bit early, about 15 minutes early, because I've got to go places, do things. So, one more time before we leave, we were graciously sponsored, or we have a sponsor, which is Copy.com. You probably can't see that too well. Oops, just dropped my iPad. Copy.com. LGIC.co/copy. You can get 20 gigabytes of free cloud storage. Just use that link, LGIC.co/copy. Use that link, please. It gets you 5 gigabytes of free extra space. That's more gigabytes for just the referral than you get starting out with Dropbox. So why not? I mean, it's, yeah. I can't go more into how good the deal is because it's amazing. So, I forgot. I totally forgot a couple other stuff here. I'm just so off today that I need to recoup. So we also have here, if I can go back to the screen, our hardware of the day. We do have hardware today. Well, not really hardware, but it's letting you know about some hardware. So Amazon right now is having a gold box deal all day today. So if you're watching this video today, which is Friday, you can get up to 50% off Sony storage devices. That means external hard drives, micro SD, and SD cards. I mean, you can get a 64 gigabyte SD card for like $37. Normally it's like above $60, $60, $70. So that's a huge discount across the board on all of their SD cards, their micro SD cards, and their external storage devices. So check it out, lgic.co/deal of the day. Deal of the day is where you can do that and take advantage of those really good Sony deals. We'll end off with our question of the day, which is, what do you want to see in the next iPad mini? What do you want to see in the next iPad mini? I definitely would like to see a Retina display. I'd like to see Wi-Fi, 802.11 AC. I would like to see. What else would I like to see? Higher quality camera. It doesn't have a back-facing camera, only a front-facing camera. So maybe a back-facing camera, although I'm not a huge fan of cameras on the iPad. I mean, I haven't even used this camera at all, ever. So, other than that, I mean, that's all that I'd really ask for in an iPad mini, is a higher resolution display. So let me know what you want to see in the iPad mini in those comments down below. Thank you guys for liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. It always helps us and is a great thing from you guys. I really appreciate it. Yeah, be sure to also follow us on our social media profiles, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, all under the username of LogicLounge. And hopefully you guys get that. Twitter.com/LogicLounge, Facebook.com/LogicLounge, Google+.com/ not really LogicLounge, it's like a whole bunch of letters and numbers. But if you look in the comments or in the video description down below, we have all of our social links there. Be sure to follow us. I mean, please follow us there. Thank you guys so much. I'd like to thank you guys. And I'll see you next time, I think. Yeah. Bye.